Now I'm going to do a test run on the Flexo Light fans. They've been sitting for a little while, so hopefully they still work. They work good enough to make the fuel can move. Yeah, that's always a good sign to have a good set of electric fans. So anyway, since these fans don't weigh very much, I don't have to use a whole bunch of iron to make brackets for it. This here is pretty thick enough for those fans to sit up on. And I'll run 2 straps, attach them up here to the top of the radiator support, and then attach them down there at the bottom and set the fan in the center. Well, I'm going to show you guys how to put threads in a hole whenever you don't have a way to put a nut on the back side. And this is going to be for the bracket for the fan. Always wear your safety glasses. So with this cool little tool here, I've actually got a one of them little brass threads screwed on like that there. I'm going to stick that in the hole. Squeeze down on my pliers. We now have threads there, and whenever you get in a place where you can't put a nut on the back side, this is the coolest way to do it. And I'm actually going to waste one of these things to show you how this works. So that goes on there like that. So by the time you squeeze this thing shut, you can see it's compressed the two together here, and whatever metal's in between is going to be trapped for good. So anyway, that's how that works. So now we have threads to mount the bracket for the fan. Well, I'm done with that power steering pump. I added the second return line into the side of the housing, and I actually pulled the housing off the power steering pump and welded that piece in there. So anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is put this fender on. I've got the electric fans all mounted in there and everything, and I've got this strip that's not covered on each side of the fan, so I'm going to have to come back with a piece of rubber and attach it here, so it's going to be pulling the air through the radiator instead of in through the side. So I can do that anytime later on, but I'm pretty much done with the fans for now. Let me show you how they turned out here on the brackets on the front. I had to pretty much notch a little spot out, and I'll have to come back and clean this up a little bit more so I don't have any sharp edges, and of course I'll put some paint on that so it don't look so ugly. But anyhow, I put the Chevrolet shroud back on the top of the radiator. Everything went pretty good. There's not a lot of clearance on everything, but it actually everything does clear, as you can see. Pretty snug fit, but it sure looks good. Anyway, we're getting closer to getting this thing on the road. Every day I work on this thing. So anyway, I'm ready to get this fender on here, and tomorrow I'm going to start on the wiring harness. You know what would be nice is some bolt bins. This kind of gets old after a while, dumping these ammunition boxes out. and going through all these bolts to find one stupid little bolt. Anyway, I got a heck of a mess here, and the truck's coming together pretty well. And this is what it's looking like underneath the hood. So anyhow, I'm just about there. Probably a few more days anyhow. Looks good sitting in there though. Everything's lining up just fine and going together pretty good. I guess tomorrow I'll tackle that wiring and the wiring, and I've still got to make me a custom front bumper yet, and I still got to put the headlights in and the grill and all that good stuff. That's pretty much about it, guys. I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's about 11 o'clock and I still got a heck of a mess of tools and stuff to pick up, but let me show you another issue that I've ran into here on the Chevrolets. The heater hoses that go to the heater box. Before you had one heater hose that come off the motor and a return back to the radiator. So I'm going to have to do away with this. And anyway, on the Cummins here, this is where your two heater hoses plug in for your heater box. And the heater box is over here. Anyway, I'll have to route them around there real neat and everything, and make sure I get them all tucked in all pretty and everything. So I don't much care for hack jobs. Anyway, so I'm sure glad I didn't come forward with that motor anymore, and I did. So anyway, that's what it's looking like. If you ain't subscribed yet, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.